Okay, this is another how-to video on a MPC 3300 color copier brought to you by Old Dominion Imaging Systems, Lynchburg, Virginia, 434-214-0422. Now what I'm going to be showing you today is how to replace a toner hopper, a toner pump, because your toner hopper tube is clogged and the toner pump is no longer adding toner. What you'll get is you'll put a brand new toner in your copy machine and it still says add toner. So we need to replace that toner pump, and it's pretty simple. It's you got to pull quite a few parts out of the machine, but it's all relatively pretty easy to do. Most color copiers Ricoh makes, the Ricoh MPC series, they're all pretty much the same. There's a few machines out there that would be different, but the 3500, 4500, 3300, the 2800, the 4000, the 5000, they're all going to be pretty much just like this. So first thing that you'll do is you'll open up the front door, and to save some time, I've already gone and pulled some stuff out. There'll be a little triangle piece right here with a screw in it. You'll pull that off. Then you'll lift this handle up, that handle, and then you'll give a good tug on that handle right there. This will flap down. There'll be 4 drum units here. I've pulled 3. To get the drum unit out, you'll lift up on that handle, pull this out, put your hand up underneath it. Be careful not to touch that cylinder right there, because that's what your drum makes an image with. Pull this out, all 4 of them, set it aside, and once you set them aside, go ahead and cover them up with a piece of paper, because we want to keep them from getting light on. Now we'll pull this around, take that lever like that, open up your side door. This transfer section needs to come out as well. It will not come out unless you open up that side door. This will pull out like this and it will stop. Once it stops, you have to lift up these handles to get it all the way out. Then it comes straight out like this, and then you want to set that aside. Now we've got the whole area right there to where we can work and get at that toner pump. But the first thing I want to do is I want to go around back and disconnect the toner pump hose. So I'm going to pause it for just a moment. Now we've got the machine turned back around. We want to get this back panel off, and there's going to be several screws here, 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 there, there. And then this panel will pop out like this, and then once it gets out there, you just kind of have to lift it up, because there is, down at the bottom of this, there's these 2 notches right there. And they'll have to go back down into some notches right here, and then the panel will go back up. Now, you got to get in behind this. Now, some machines will have a ground wire, some won't. If it doesn't have a ground wire up here, you don't have to pull that screw. Otherwise, you'll pull 4 screws down here at the bottom, and they've got a little arrow that's pointing right to them. Right there, 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 and then there'll be 2 right here on the side. Once you've got those done, then this whole door will pull up out of the way, exposing where we need to disconnect the toner tube. Okay, now that we're in a little bit closer, for whichever toner pump that you need to replace, you'll see a little white window that will show the color of each one. And you can see right there. There's black, yellow, and so forth. I'll zoom it out here a little bit. And the hose that we need to replace will correspond to the color, of course. So let's say we're going to do yellow. You can see where I've already pulled it apart. On each one of these tubes at the end, there is a little clip right here. I don't know if you can see that. And you'll just squeeze on it and pull it down like I have on this one. Once you pull it down, then you can pull this hose just completely off like that. Alright, now that little clip will be dangling right there on the end of that tube. Make sure that you get it off of the end of the tube so that it doesn't fall down into the copy machine, because we don't want that. All right, now we're back around the front of the copy machine. So we're going to go down inside the machine, and you will see the 4 toner pumps that we need to get at just one of them. So we're going to do the yellow, which will be this one all the way over to the left, which will be right there. But for light's sake, because we're so limited on light, I'm going to point at just any particular pump so that we can see what we're doing. Now, back here, you will see a screw on right there on that side, and then there'll be one on the lower side. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. And it's that screw right there in the center of the screen. Let's see if I can point to it. Yeah, right there. Okay, and then on the bottom side of the pump, you can see, oh, there you go, you can see both screws. Now you'll see the toner tube and see where it goes through the hole, and that's where we disconnected it on the back side. And then you'll see a wire that goes up beside there, and then you see the connector. That's where it needs to be connected into. So you'll disconnect that wire, and then you'll see a little clip up there, and that little clip can be kind of a booger to get undone, so you have to have kind of like a fingernail and reach in there and let's see, and you just have to take your fingernail to the top of it. And I'm going to try to show you this on the back of a machine, because you're just not going to be able to see with the lighting. Let's see if I can't find one. Yeah, here's one. Okay. And you'll see a clip that looks just like that. Okay. And so you'll take your finger, and you can see that I'll press down on it. Right there. Alright. And then that's how that wire will come on, and then when you go to put it back in, you just press it back in like so. Alright, so now that we've taken those 2 screws out and we've gone up there and pulled the toner tube through the copy machine and disconnected that wire, we'll just do everything in reverse. Once you get those 2 screws out, and I'm going to pause the video and show how that's done. Okay, so we're going to go in here and we're going to remove one screw right there, and we're going to remove the lower one, just like so. And then because you've already disconnected the hose and the wire, this just simply comes straight out. It just comes straight out. And then all you have to do is do everything in reverse. Put your toner pump back in there, run your hose through the back of the machine, connect your wire, put your 2 screws back in. Then you will put your transfer section back in with the side door open. You'll put your 4 drum units back in, and they just sit right there like that, and they'll slide right back in. And now I'm glad I showed you this, because sometimes they'll do that, and what you need to do is just kind of pull on the drum unit forward so that those stay clipped, because sometimes you'll go like that and it won't click. So you hold down and pull forward a little bit, and then they'll stay shut. And once you get the toner pump back in the machine and everything all buttoned back up, turn the machine on, and it will probably take a few minutes for it to cycle and that toner pump to get toner down into the developer unit before that add toner condition will go away. If it doesn't go away on the first try, open and close the front door, and then it will cycle again. and by that time the toner condition should go away. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, 434-214-0422.